From Holliday and Trillia, welcome to mediaFWD 2016, live at the Institute of Contemporary Art in Boston, Massachusetts, featuring speakers from Forrester, Uber, Discovery, CNN, GE, and Spotify, addressing the future of content, customer experience, technology, and mobile. All looking ahead to 2020. She went from receptionist to CEO. From Holliday Group, here's Karen Kaplan.
Tomorrow is a very big day, not only in our country's history, but also the world's. What we choose to do at the ballot boxes tomorrow will affect at least the next 4 years and set the political stage for 2020. While we're not here today to talk politics, thankfully, we're most certainly going to talk a lot about 2020 as it relates to our immediate world, marketing. Just as this year's presidential campaign broke norms, rules, and even values, marketing's future can no longer be predicted by its history because its own norms, values, and rules have also fundamentally changed. Last year, I stood right here and said that it's easier than ever for people to avoid advertising. Well, today, let me update that. Consumer dismissal of advertising is now the default. Ad skipping, ad-free streaming, and ad blocking are all sure signs that as we approach 2020, the future of marketing isn't advertising as we've known it to be. So then what do we do when the stuff that as an industry we spend so much time and money creating and promoting is becoming less and less relevant to consumers? The answer sounds simple. We have to pay close attention to what is relevant to consumers, what they want and what they care about. This means considering their entire relationship with the brand and broadening the very definition of advertising. To do this, we must think and plan in terms of the customer journey in order to keep the customer's entire brand experience front and center. This involves shifting from a communication-centric mindset to a customer experience mindset. And that means, as an industry, rethinking advertising as a series of brand experiences that are carefully curated to suit each individual's needs. Now, the act of curating is certainly familiar when describing how museums research, select, commission, organize, and display the best possible collections of artwork for their visitors. And it's quite fitting that we're all here today together at the Institute of Contemporary Art, because nearly all of the delightful experiences in our contemporary lives are curated from the clutter of seemingly endless choice. Just look at what Spotify has done to music with its curated Discover platform, or how Netflix and YouTube serve us custom suggestions for video content, or what companies like Blue Apron have done to curate fresh, seasonal ingredients for our dinners, and similarly, Birchbox for beauty. These experiences aren't just curated en masse, but are also personalized for each and every one of our individual tastes. Curation, by its very definition, equals relevance. So then a curated brand experience is contemporary advertising that functions as a currency between brands and consumers. It reinforces the brand's purpose and makes it easy for consumers to transact business. It's advertising that's been thoughtfully and intentionally selected by agencies and brands for its quality, as measured by the value it brings to the customer. It actually gives me pause when I hear people proclaim that the future of marketing is customer experience, because it reminds me that along the way, our industry failed to keep the customer front and center in its marketing practices. By taking on the role of curator, we will simplify, eliminate friction, and ultimately delight consumers by creating brand experiences that people won't dismiss by default. So what does this all mean for the CMO? Just like 2 decades ago, when CMOs had to start wrapping their heads around this thing called digital, and they leaned on their agencies to help them navigate the complexity and speed of that landscape, the CMO of 2020 will be responsible for curating consistent, delightful, and personalized experiences in touch points that go beyond traditional communications. In other words, this is a third wave of advertising transformation. It's what customers expect, and agencies and brands must deliver in order to earn their attention, money, and loyalty. This is the new world of advertising and media. And yes, the CMO's responsibilities are changing again. You'll hear more about this over the course of today as we look ahead to 2020 and dive deeper into what marketers must be doing now to prepare for a future of advertising with a different set of norms, rules, and values. And just like tomorrow's election, the stakes are higher than ever. So now for the 6th time, let's welcome 2 familiar faces to this stage, your mediaFWD 2016 host Stacey Shepperton and Mike Crew.
Well, fancy meeting you all here today. We're going to talk a lot about this number behind me, 1,150. This is the number of days left, believe it or not, until 2020. Why are we making such a big deal about 2020 today? Sure, there's going to be another Olympics, and yes, there's going to be another presidential election. Kim Kardashian, First Lady, anyone? Where it's also one of those years of numerical perfect symmetry. But there are also a lot of big things that are happening in our world culture as well. The World Expo 2020 opens up in Dubai, as well as the world's tallest building standing at over 1 kilometer in Saudi Arabia. And then NASA is going to launch its Mars 2020 mission to study the planet, believe it or not, for human colonization.
In media, come 2020, digital ad spending is projected to increase another 72%, and shipment of wearable devices is projected to double. And over 60% of the world population will own a smartphone. So there's a lot going on in our industry and our solar system today. You just heard Karen talk about the new world of media and advertising, and that's what we're here to talk about today. So welcome to our 6th and most provocative mediaFWD yet.
Yes. This is one of my favorite events every year because it brings together Hill Holliday and Trilia clients under one roof, as well as our different media partners, which is terrific. It's sort of like Thanksgiving, but without the large dysfunction, right? And we want to welcome a couple of special additions to our Hill Holliday family, including Planet Fitness, as well as Tempur Sealy. So let's give them a round of applause. Thanks so much for being here. Today is organized into 2 parts. Over the course of today, we're going to kick off this morning with a look at the role of the CMO and also the future marketing landscape. We're going to tackle content from different directions, including content studios, immersive technology, drones, and also look at audio content, including podcasts and Spotify as well. This afternoon, part 2, we're going to look at targeting, the good and the bad, and also look at platforms, including the future of TV, mobile, and gaming. And then we're going to end with a look at work that MIT Media Lab has been doing around, yes, tomorrow's presidential election.
We have 35 industry leaders here with us today, in addition to our own Trilia and Hill Holliday thought leaders, to take us through 25 insightful, jam-packed, fast-moving segments. So with all of this amazing content, we have even bigger back channel screens this year, floor to ceiling. So please share your content and follow along with us throughout the day using the hashtag mediaFWD. And if you need to connect to the Wi-Fi, just connect to ICA Guest.
She says that every year. Very cool. And yeah, once again, thanks for all of you guys for being here. Here's Tempur Sealy's logo, and here's Planet Fitness's logo. Just in case you forgot who they were. We also have a few other people to thank.
So we couldn't put on this event without our media partners. Many of you bought tickets to be here today, and 19 of you went even further to sponsor today's event. So a huge round of applause and thank you for enabling this event to happen.
So Stacy, what do you think? Should we get this thing started?
Let's go.
Let's do it.